As you guys can tell by the title, I have a DVD review for you guys today, which will be the $1,000,000 Tough Enough. I actually got this about 2 weeks ago. I just didn't show it or show it off or anything. So, got this off eBay. $5 with free shipping. Can't go wrong with that. I've actually wanted this for a while now. I think ever since Tough Enough was announced it was coming back, which was what, December last year, January this year. So I've actually been wanting this for almost a year now, and I finally got it. And I'll get my thoughts on it in about a minute. Cover here, of course, you have Daniel Peter, the winner of this season. We all know how far his illustrious career went. $1,000,000 Tough Enough. Back here you have all the competitors and some info. Television's toughest contest has nothing to do with eating bugs. This is the $1,000,000 Tough Enough on WWE SmackDown. 8 athletes compete for a $1,000,000 contract and a chance to be a WWE superstar. Here's a grueling journey these hopeful young athletes endure in pursuit of $1,000,000 and the realization of their dreams of WWE stardom. Hold on, let me catch my breath real quick. I was just running around my house, so I'm kind of tired real quick. When you have a 3-year-old, that's what happens. Not my kid, by the way, it's my brother's kid, in case anyone was wondering. Catch my breath. Sorry about that. Of course, right there you have Dan P. We all know who won that season. Ryan, as we all know, as Skip Sheffield. Nick, who's actually was in the Spirit Squad as Mitch. Chris, John. This guy actually quit on the very first day of training, so it was actually a 7-man season because he pansied out and left. Justice, Mike, as we all know, as The Miz now, who's, as you guys know, Mark IV, and Dan R. This, by the way, this will probably be a short review, maybe no longer than 8 minutes, I would say. Maybe even 5. Disc right there, basically, same as the cover. And then you have a bonus disc, which is a WrestleMania Recall, which I have no idea what that is, because I didn't bother popping that in, because it doesn't look anything worth my time. On here, I think I'll just read you guys the chapters, because everything on the extras is basically on the chapters, but in its full entirety, instead of it'll show clips of, example, like Kurt Angle SmackDown Challenge. On here it's Kurt Angle Invitational, which was basically the whole thing, and this was just like a highlight version of it. So there's not really nothing to talk about in the extras. For the chapters, you do have Venice Beach Obstacle Course, Brian the Bonick, whatever. These guys' last names are hard to pronounce. Final 8. What would you do with the money? John Meyer quits. Nick Mitchell, Daniel Rodmeyer, Justice Smith, Rodmeyer and Justice lose bet. Big Show SmackDown Challenge, Mike Mizanin, Chris Naraki, Sprint and Posse Eating Challenge, Kurt Angle SmackDown Challenge, Al Snow's Birthday, Daniel Peter, Ryan Reeves, Al Snow's Kids, Nick Mitchell Eliminated, Tori Wilson Sex Test Challenge, Setting Up the Ring, Chris Naraki Eliminated, Basham Brothers Challenge, Dan Rodmeyer Eliminated, Arm Wrestling Challenge, Who Would You Vote Off, Ryan Reeves Eliminated, Women Press Impersonators, Justice Eliminated, The Miz vs. Pewter, Dixie Dogfight, and the winner is, and montage. Now, going into this, I actually had very, very high expectations, which I really don't know why I had such high expectations for this, because to me, this was really just one of those DVDs you can honestly just pass on. It was basically a documentary. It's only an hour long. It was just like a documentary, and I was just disappointed. I actually expected more. I know this is not like any of the other Tough Enough seasons where they had their own show. They had their own house. They train in and everything. They show everything. Because this was part on SmackDown. This is presented by SmackDown. Because this was SmackDown's fuck. I had this word in my head before I started making this video. It was their counter. There you go, from Raw's $250,000 Diva Search. So they did it Tough Enough for $1,000,000. And this DVD, it was a good DVD, but it was one of those where you can just say, if you don't want it, you can pass on it easily. You don't gotta watch it. The first 10 minutes is this highlights of a bunch of people trying out for it. I think it was 50 people, maybe. I don't know. I think they cut down to 50 people. They said they got over 1,000 entries, and they cut it down to 50 people they liked. And I don't know if you guys know this, but Luke Gallows is actually one of the guys that were trying out for this. I didn't know that. I saw them on a DVD. I was like, holy shit! I know Luke Gallows was on this. And there's a bunch of, they're basically just showing everyone who was the best out of everyone. And it showed this one dude, Brian DeVoke, whatever, the first name I said, he actually tore his left pectoral muscle during training. And they said if you get injured, you're cut. But, when he got cut, John Laurinaitis, yes, he is shown on this DVD for half a second. He looks the exact same and sounds the exact same as he does now, which is not good because, well, we all know his voice. And, he had it back then, so that's not really good. He told the dude that they would pay for his surgery and that they would send him to OVW, which was their developmental territory at the time, to a developmental deal. So that dude got signed because he got injured, lucky son of a bitch. And, this DVD basically just goes through everything that they did. And I really like because randomly, like throughout the DVD, randomly, they would just show like 2-minute, like, video packages for each star, like their journeys to how they got here, how they got into wrestling and why they're there. Like, fuck, get this back open. Like, it'll be talking about the Kurt Angle's challenge and their Allison's birthday and obstacle courses and everything. Then all of a sudden it'll randomly show like a little thing about Daniel Puder and Ryan Reeves, I really like that. I didn't like how they just did them all at once and they split it up, which is very, very cool. I like that. Some of the things on here just was very, very, like, not needed. Like, they literally spent 10 minutes talking about how Justice and I think it was Dan R. Let me see. It says in the chapter. Right, yeah. Him and Justice and Dan R. lost a bet, so they had to dress as women and, go on one of those, fucking strip clubs and, like, dance on everything. It was nasty, and it showed them putting on a bunch of dresses, and it was like, things like that. Like, I didn't care for that. Why are you showing me this? It's kind of funny, but it's like, I don't want to watch that. I want to see competition. And it showed, like, them eating pasta, and they had to run, they had to do suicides, and then they eat a whole bowl of pasta, like, big ass bowl, like, fucking, I don't know, I can't really show you how big it was, but then they had to do suicides after eating that, and then they'd go to something like, every time they go out to eat dinner, they would pretend it's Al Snow's birthday, because, he was a trainer and host of this, which is very, very funny, I thought. And, it'll show SmackDown, it'll show, like, when they first came in there, they went to the locker room, and Big Show kicked them all out of the locker room because they haven't earned their dues or paid their respects yet. They even go in the locker room, so Big Show kicked them out. They're out in the ring, Big Show came out and body slammed every single one of them. And then, it'd go like the next week where Kurt Angle came out and did an invitational challenge where the winner of, I forgot what it was. It was like some kind of squat thrust, like, workout. I forgot what it was. They had to do that, and whoever, like, did it the longest had, like, a little match with Kurt Angle. And, what else on there? I'm forgetting already. They didn't show a lot, that's why. Oh, yeah, then, it'll show, like, elimination, and when the first guy got eliminated, which was, I think it was Chris the Rocky, I think it was. I'm not sure. That's when they really just all started turning at each other. They're saying how, like, the reality setting in, that they're all there to win this, not to make friends, basically. And they all just started talking trash about each other, basically, after that. Especially about Daniel Puder. No one really liked him this season. And I'm already 9 minutes when I said this shouldn't be over 8 minutes. Well, I lied. Sorry. Then I go to another thing, like Tori Wilson's sex test challenge, where they had to make out with Mae Young, which was just nasty. Daniel Puder, basically, he wanted to make out with Mae Young, which I don't know why the fuck he wouldn't want to. Luke Cage. Yeah, but, some weird stuff. And, they had to set up the ring, which looks very, very hard to do. Whoever sets up the rings, I have tons of respect for them doing that. I don't think it's easy setting up a ring. So that was pretty cool to see them do that. And then they had, like, the best, I always had I always keep pronouncing their name differently. Basson Brothers Challenge, where they had to capture the flag on the pole, that you get past them, and no one won that, so that was like whatever. They had the arm wrestling challenge, where Daniel Peter won that, uh, whatever. And then they had a little thing where they asked who would you vote off, and everyone wanted to vote off Daniel Peter, but it wasn't for them to decide, and so it was whatever. Then they had a little like woman impersonator thing where they came out as women, and they would have to convince the crowd if they could be a good woman or not, basically, which I thought was pretty damn stupid. And then he came down the Miz and Peter at the very end. The Dixie Dogfight at Armageddon '04, and then of course Daniel Peter ended up winning Tough Enough. But overall, I think that this didn't show what you wanted to see. They basically just showed you stuff where you didn't really care for. It's just the things that you probably want to skip through, basically, is what they show in the chapters. Like that stupid little, the woman impersonator thing. When those two guys lost the bet, they had to dress up as women and everything. It's just things that you don't want to see. But basically, everything on the extras, that should have been on the real thing instead of just being an extra. But this was whatever. Overall, like I said, this was a good DVD. I'd probably give it like a 7 out of 10. It's one of these DVDs where you can pass up if you want to. You're not going to miss much, but like I said, I expected more. Did I get what I expected? Not really. Like I said, maybe I had high expectations, but it was whatever, basically. If you want to get it, get it. It's only an hour long. Well, if you watch the extras and everything, it's like 2.5, 3 hours long. But if you just want to watch the chapters, it's only an hour long. So yeah, I would recommend this DVD if you have nothing else to do. If you find it for a cheap price, like $5 like I did, go ahead and get it. But if you see it at a store for like 15, I really wouldn't recommend it. So if you find it cheap, get it. But besides that, yeah, I really wouldn't recommend this. So yeah, that's my review. And I'm out, guys. Thanks for watching this video.